All right, welcome back, everybody, to Dancing with Fatherhood. I'm Justin. Y'all don't mind me, I got my notes here. So, oh my God. What up? Welcome back to Dancing with Fatherhood. I'm Justin. So, in the last vlog, we were talking about finding out I was going to be a father. I was very involved. So, in this vlog, we're going to talk about the day my child was born. I want to talk about that because there was a lot going on at that time. I was just starting back college for the first time after 12 years. So, to help you understand, and I felt like I was kind of in a transition in my life in different ways because I was just being an adult, never really thought about children. I didn't have the urgency to do what I needed to do to get back into college. I didn't feel like I was 100% where I wanted to be
being a slacker
in life at that time. I began trying to organize my life a little bit. So I was one of the main things was getting back into college. So I got accepted into Kennesaw State. It was around that time, going back to the first part of this little series, is that when I found out that my ex was pregnant. Around the time she's about to give birth, that was my first semester back in Kennesaw State.
Go Owls.
I'm basically trying to figure out college after 12 years as an adult. I'm classified as an adult learner. That's what they call me. Working a job, trying to figure out my living situation, being that I'm about to have a family, trying to plan for that, thinking about marriage, trying to do what's right, also figuring out college stuff. So that's what I was going through at the time, trying to figure out how to be a student again, as well as how to be a father. So the day born, it was the day before that we actually went to the hospital. I was just at work, regular day. My child was actually due 6 days before the day she was actually born. But I remember around the time she was born, my ex, she was having all kinds of different female pregnancy situations going on, meetings with the doctors and all the pregnancy women stuff. She was dealing with a lot of that, and I remember it was in the early afternoon she called me and she was like, yeah, I'm not feeling normal. I feel like something might be happening, so I'm going to the hospital. The doctor told me to just come to the hospital. So I'm just thinking oh my God, maybe this is it. I already knew we were kind of close to time. I told my boss and he was like, all right, go home or go to the hospital. We'll see you probably in a month or so. Because my boss at the time, he was a father of 3 and we were a similar age. So he kind of, I guess, was a veteran in the whole experience, whereas they saw that I was really nervous, I was shaking. 2 of the other guys, they were just kind of laughing at me. I didn't even realize the day that my ex called me, she was like, yeah, I need to go to the hospital, I think now might be the time. I didn't even realize that day, it was a Friday, it was October 30th, the day before Halloween. Oh yeah, it is the day before Halloween. Didn't even think about that. So fast forward, I left work and ran straight to the hospital and met her there. Spent the night, spent the rest of that day in the hospital. My child, she was not actually born until the next day, October 31st. So yes, my child was born on the same day that shares a holiday, Halloween.
How spooky.
I was nervous. I didn't know what to do. I'm generally a very optimistic person, and I like to say that I had no fears going into this, but I definitely did. For me, it was a lot of fear of the unknown, but also because I think I was studying for an exam that I ended up doing in the hospital for statistics, taking a statistics class, 30s. I don't even know like what I'm doing, but I was studying for an exam while in the hospital, trying to like be a man, trying to like, you know, be the other half, trying to be there, be of support. And but I was nervous too. My child, let's talk about actually being born. You know, I know of births, but my child, she's a wonderful, lovely little girl, beautiful. She's perfectly healthy. There's nothing wrong with her. But I remember the moment she was born and I first like laid eyes on her. I was definitely happy and relieved, but I was almost a little confused and a little worried because she came out with a cone head.
Who?
Her head was like a cone, like the movie Coneheads with Dan Aykroyd, like for sure. I'm not sure if I have any pictures of that. I think I do, but I can't. I think they're on my old computer. But she came out with a cone head. And like the reason for that, again, still learning stuff, you know, but the reason why she came out with a cone head is because the day she, earlier that morning, you know, like she tried to go into labor. The doctors tried to induce her to go into labor. And, you know, she tried to, you know, have a natural birth, but Delaney wasn't coming out. I saw, you know, some crowning, but she was not coming all the way out. And, you know, we let her rest, and then she tried to push again. And Delaney just was not coming out. Like, I saw all the hair on her head. Like, she was born with all that, but she was not coming out. So we ended up having to do an emergency C-section. It's not something that I wanted to happen, but I'm a man, so it doesn't really matter, I guess, what I think or want. So that's what happened. And so that's the reason why Delaney came out with a cone head. The cone was from all the pushing that was unsuccessful. The nurses, they told us that basically it was something that would go away within hours, which it did. So anyway, so yes, I was very confused. I was like, whoa, like, wait a minute, stick her back in, let's do it over. Because her head, something wrong with her head, you know, like, I never even heard of such an instance happening with a child. But I guess the doctor said it's because all the cartilage and like skull meat, I mean, you know, all that's like really malleable. Is designed for that, for the child to like, you know, be able to kind of squish through the birth process and all that stuff. So, but anyway, so yeah, you know, my child was born. She was born on October 31st, same day as a holiday. And it's ironic because I was raised not even celebrating Halloween, but I mean, it's cool. We compromise on that for birthdays. So that was the birth. That was the birth experience. So after all that, we finally left the hospital. I think we stayed in the hospital. We went in, it was a Friday afternoon, and we did not leave until the following Wednesday afternoon. Normally we would have left Tuesday, but because, you know, she was a C-section, she had to stay an extra day. She was definitely wobbly, shocked. She was very emotional. Talking about my ex, she was very emotional, and it was definitely a new beginning for her as well. I could tell. I understood that. I think shock is an understatement for everybody involved. I was just trying to do the best I could to just be there, be supportive. So anyway, we left the hospital. I remember that day, it was crazy because we came home and my folks were actually getting new hardwood floors, so that was crazy. Like, we were trying to be careful walking in with a brand new child. But and And that was that. Went, you know, she sat down on the bed. Delaney was still in the car seat. And, you know, we just kind of looked at each other and we just knew that it was something totally brand new that just happened to both of us. Like, we were both kind of like silent for a little bit. Just kind of taking it all in, sitting there at home as new parents. I remember the day I met that person, and it's just like crazy to look at her, across at her, and see like something that we created breathing. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching this video. Please